You know, for basically all of human history, we've been asking the same question. Can we slow down aging? It's this idea that's fascinated us, and honestly eluded us for centuries. But here's the thing. What used to be myth and legend is now squarely in the sights of science. And it all starts with one really big question.
Right? It's the ultimate question. Why does this happen to all of us? This universal, kind of steady decline. We see it, we feel it, but what is actually going on deep down inside our cells that causes it all? For the longest time, all we could do was describe what aging looked like from the outside. But in just the last decade or so, the game has completely changed. Scientists have gone from just observing the problem to actually mapping out its root causes. They've created a genuine blueprint for the entire process. And that blueprint has a name: the hallmarks of aging. Seriously, think of it like a master map that details every fundamental biological process that drives us to get older. This is the framework we're going to walk through.
So what does it take to be a hallmark? It can't just be something that happens when we're old. Scientists have this really strict three-part test. First, it has to get worse as we age. Makes sense. Second, if you speed it up in a lab, it has to make aging happen faster. And third, and this is the absolute key, if you can slow it down, it has to actually extend a healthy lifespan. That third one is what turns this from just science into potential medicine.
And here it is. This is the map. This single diagram, first dreamed up in 2013 and then updated just last year with the latest science, lays out all 12 hallmarks. It's incredible. For the first time ever, we have a complete guide to the whole aging process, from the very first spark of damage all the way to the final results.
Now, to make sense of all 12, scientists break them down into 3 stages. First, you've got the primary hallmarks. Think of these as the root causes, the original sparks that start the fire. Then you have the antagonistic hallmarks, which are the body's attempts to deal with that damage. Sometimes they help, but over time they can actually make things worse. And finally, you get the integrative hallmarks. These are the big picture consequences, the end result of all that other stuff, which we experience as getting older.
Okay, so having the map is one thing, but can we actually use it to change the journey? Well, that question is leading to real-world interventions. And this is where things get truly exciting. And this shows that, yeah, we absolutely can. This isn't just theory. Look at this. Researchers have created treatments that target specific hallmarks in mammals, and the results are just incredible. They reactivated an enzyme to fix our telomeres, and boom, lifespan extension. They used drugs to clear out these dysfunctional zombie cells, and it increased health span. Even a simple supplement that boosts our cells' cleaning process led to a longer life. The blueprint works. So that brings us to the obvious next question, right? If we have the map and we have proof that we can intervene in a lab, who is taking that next giant leap to turn all this science into actual medicine for you and me? Well, the answer is a massive multi-billion-dollar industry. A whole ecosystem of startups, brilliant scientists, and big money investors has exploded onto the scene, and they are all racing to turn the science of these hallmarks into real products. And right now, inside that industry, there's one area that's getting more buzz and more cash than anything else: epigenetic reprogramming. This is basically a technology that has the potential to reverse age-related changes right at the DNA level. We're talking about essentially turning back the clock inside our cells.
And the players in this field are some of the biggest names you can imagine. We're talking Altos Labs, funded by Jeff Bezos, NewLimit from the CEO of Coinbase, Retro Biosciences, backed by Sam Altman from OpenAI. These are not small research projects. These are incredibly well-funded companies pushing hard to get into human clinical trials.
And just to put that in perspective for a second, a single one of these companies, Altos Labs, is a $5 billion startup. That level of investment is just staggering. It shows you how much confidence some of the world's richest people have in this technology.
But let's be real. This is the absolute cutting edge of biotech, and the road to success is never, ever a straight line. For every mind-blowing breakthrough, there are going to be some pretty significant challenges and setbacks.
I mean, just look at the landscape this year. On one hand, you have these massive wins. A company with a gene therapy for cholesterol gets bought for $1 billion, a dog longevity drug gets a thumbs up from the FDA, an AI drug company has a huge IPO. But on the flip side, you see major players like Unity Biotechnology having to shut down, and huge partnerships between big pharma and companies like Google's Calico just ending. It is a high-risk, high-reward world for sure.
So what's the bottom line here? The crucial thing to remember is that even with all that volatility, the pipeline is absolutely full. Even if some companies fail, there are literally dozens of potential treatments in the final stage of human testing right now. The science is still moving forward at an incredible speed.
Which leaves us right here. We have the scientific blueprint. We have unprecedented amounts of money pouring in. So the fundamental question is starting to shift. It's not really if we can extend our healthy years anymore. The real question is becoming, when will these treatments finally get here? And once they do, who is actually going to get access to them?